It's your host, Hollie, and it's time for a little teaser talk. Before we jump into today's episode, quick roll call. Who's heading to Welcome to Rockville this year? If you guys see me running around doing interviews, come say hi. You guys have got to check this out.
Welcome to Rockville. Returns to Daytona International Speedway May 7th through 10th with Foo Fighters, My Chemical Romance, Guns N' Roses, and Bring Me the Horizon. Plus, Turnstile, Five Finger Death Punch, The Offspring, Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Godsmack, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville, May 7th through 10th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at welcometorockville.com.
Pretty wicked lineup, am I right? I hope to see you there. Now let's get into today's episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Teaser Talk, where we dive into the chaos behind the music and the stories that form your most amazing, awesome favorite bands and everything in between. Today, we have not one but two guests on. One who's actually been on the show before, and I'm excited to catch up with them because he's about to tell us, or I guess both of them are about to tell us about a brand new band that they are involved in. And that band, even though it's new, it's already making some serious waves out in the Southwest alt rock scene. So you might know the guest that I told you was on before, Sean. You might know him from otherwise, but now he's stepping to something new, something raw, and something real. So welcome to the show, Sean and Seth. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And before we hit record here, you guys were talking about how you guys are in Vegas. So everyone that's listening in, have some envy of these guys, because if you're like me, you might not be in a fabulous place like Vegas. So what's going on? Let's catch up. Sean, let's catch up. And then what are you guys doing in Vegas? Is there anything cool, or are you guys just having fun?
Yeah, well, Seth lives in Vegas, so we're up here hanging out, recording some new songs. I guess like when this comes out, our single Second Chances, our debut single, is already dropped. But yeah, we're just up here working on new songs. Our producer lives in Vegas, and then filming some new videos and stuff. So just keeping on the band while it's early in the year, you know.
I love it. And then Seth, let's do an introduction, because you're new to the pod. So tell listeners, for those who don't know who you are, what you do in the band and all that other good stuff, other than living in Vegas. That's all we know about you so far.
Yeah, so I do vocals in Lake Palms, and Sean and I were introduced by our bass player, who's actually my bandmate in my other band, The Guilty Party. Yeah, I've been living in Vegas for about 3 years. Been doing music for maybe 5 years. And yeah, it's pretty much what I have going on right now.
That's all we need to know right now, right? This is teaser talk. Yeah. We got to tease them into stuff. We can't just tell them everything out the gate.
Right, got to tease, yeah.
Well, let's start in the beginning. What was the exact moment when Les Palms, it went from just an idea to, okay, this is a band?
Yeah, so Les Palms started, I had a handful of songs that I was going to go into the studio with for my solo project. And I was talking back and forth with Vulcan, our bassist, and he was saying like, hey, you should let my vocalist hop on one of these songs and just see if you like it. And I ended up sending him my folder of demos, and they like this one song that's going to be our single, Second Chance. And they recorded on it and sent it back to me within like 24 hours. And I was like, okay, you guys took this song from like 95% to 110%. I think we need to like pursue this. And that was in January, like second week of January. And then flash forward, and now 4 months later, we have been in the studio quite a few times working on songs. And I don't know, it just kind of happened that way. Sometimes you just like mash with people like creatively, and you just gotta run with it.
I love it when that happens. I love a good 95 to 110, not just 100, 110. So
110
air snaps over there. So, you guys are both in other bands. What itch did this new band scratch creatively that you guys weren't getting before?
I guess for me, it's just like am like a serial writer when it comes to music, and I've always like overwritten for all the bands that I'm in and not had like placement for songs. So it's started like a solo career for me, and then it's also like led to these things where I'm either writing for other bands or like starting my own other bands. So it kind of just satisfied that for me.
Yeah.
I think for me, for Lay Palms, I'm definitely like exploring a higher register in my voice, because my other band, I'm definitely like a little lower as far as vocals go, like the tone that I'm singing in or whatever. So definitely finding out new things about my voice.
That's awesome. I love a
Yeah.
good self-discovery. So Second Chance actually started as a solo track. What was it
Correct.
about Seth's version that made you go, okay, yeah, this, I mean, I know you had talked about like, yeah, this is something bigger, but what exactly was it about whenever you received that song back that you were like, fuck, this is it?
I think like, yeah, so there was like bits of melodies that I had already written on the track, like when he sent it back, but he just kind of like the tonality of it and then the overall like performance of it was just like, I mean, it was just better than anything I could do, you know, like I'm not like a trained vocalist. And I think that that was the thing that was kind of lacking with my solo music, was like, I just couldn't like get myself to the point I needed it to be. And meeting somebody like Seth, it was just like really easy to kind of like, all right, here's my idea. Like I have it in my mind, but I just can't execute it. And he was just able to execute it. And now we can kind of just run from here, you know, play to my strong suits of like instrumentals and like arrangement development, and then his like vocal performance. So I think it was like a really good combo.
I love it. And that song has like a real life theme, you know, tied to like addiction and addiction. Yeah, no, I do. Good job, you guys. Yeah. I agree. I didn't hear the original one. I did hear the Seth's version, so I'm sure yours was good too. But Seth, good job on that. But when it comes to that, like how important, you know, because with lyrics like that, how important was it for you guys to keep that honesty intact versus just polishing it for radio?
I think we definitely kept it pretty raw as far as like the lyrics go. I don't think there was a lot of polishing, to be honest with you. So yeah, definitely like a lot of vulnerability on the track.
Yeah, we didn't like try to, with any of these songs we're doing, like our number one in mind is not like, oh, the song has to be radio ready. You know, I think like we're just writing songs that like, we're not, I don't know, we're just not writing songs with like explicit content and stuff that we have to like be conscious about cutting out later. You know, the songs are just like as they are. And I mean, we just, from start to beginning on all the tracks we worked on so far, it's like we've cut a few things out of them. Like as far as like wording and stuff, like we've enhanced the wording and we've like made it flow better, but we're not writing songs that we have to like, I don't know, like
have like radio in mind. And I just feel like, because just like kudos to you guys for doing that, because I feel like it is at some capacity a temptation for almost any artist, right? Because it's almost like, okay, you have that fine line of like wanting to make it obviously reach the masses, but at the same time you want to keep it real and raw and authentic to what the song was made and written for. You know, speaking of like fine lines, you know, there's a line between vulnerability and that exposure. Did you guys ever feel risky putting something this personal out on your debut?
No, that's what the band is, you know. It's like I think that we're just, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, like I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and it's like that's pretty vulnerable right there, you know. It's like I might as well put out what I got to say, you know.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering how many people are going to ask me if this is about so and so or so and so or so and so, etc. But I mean, I don't know. Yeah, just
it's always tied to personal experiences, and you know, it's like
I made it up in my mind. It's about nobody.
That's funny. I always. It's about me. We didn't meet until after it's already out. But hey, you know, here I am, just living in 2026 in the future, right? So like sonically, you guys got like hints of like the Killers, the Strokes, a little even a bit of Prince energy, I would say, in there. How did you guys land that blend without it feeling forced?
I don't know, just listening to this music for long enough, and then it influences what we do. A lot of the stuff like with this band, we really are not like going into thinking about it too much. Some of the songs that we've written like since Second Chance, it's just like we'll sit down for an hour and just bust through the idea, throw a vocal melody on it, and then we'll just like come back to it with like fresh ears and like see what we think. And I don't know, organically, it's just kind of moving towards that style. Like kind of like when we were thinking about bands to compare us to, because that's a number one question, especially when we're going for like, oh, we're a new band. Like, what do you guys sound like? And what would you compare your music to? It's like, we did go back and forth on that for a while. And like those examples that you gave are definitely like up that alley. But yeah, it was definitely like a hard question to answer, you know? What do we compare a band that isn't out yet to?
Yeah, and it's always tough though too to like even kind of associate that, because it's almost like, well, it's not a cover band, so it's not like we're trying to sound just like them. But if you were to say what you sounded like, what would it be? So that is kind of a hard like mesh. And even like those three that I mentioned, like they're kind of similar-ish, but they're completely different sounding too. Right. So obviously weaving them together creates a unique sound. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
I love it. So you guys recorded with Chris, right? And just curious, like with that process, what did he pull out of you guys in the studio that maybe wasn't there before?
Seth can definitely talk on this. Seth does all his vocals with Chris in person. We were just with Chris yesterday, doing a couple new songs. And I think he really Chris comes into it like trying to get the best performances out of us, and really pushes to get like the best takes tonally and like
I would say like recording with Chris, he made it to where like everything you're hearing like vocally on the track is super like natural, or he didn't have to do a lot of tuning, you know, because we picked all the right takes. You know, we did the takes until, you know, it was close to perfect. Not
Chris will sit there and take 30 takes of a vocal until it's like the right take, and it's like, nah, we're not going to punch in on that, we're going to do the whole line. And it's just like he takes the time to do it. And I think that like for me personally, like working with other producers, it's like I've never had somebody that's like really like dialed into like making the track sound as good as possible. A lot of guys just want to like rush through it and get paid. And
he was playing like as a vocal coach and an engineer at the same time, like while I was recording with him. So that was really nice to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because I feel like too, like there's also that mistake of like just taking what it is and then it's like, oh wait, we'll just take it and enhance it with AI even more. So not knocking anybody who leverages that as a process. You know, everything has their own space, but I feel like sometimes
there's no AI used in Les Palms.
Yeah, Les Palms it's AI actual intelligence, not artificial. I like it, but so, you know, like sometimes. Oh yeah. Sometimes like that sound can be almost like you're just like, okay, T-Pain, calm down. Like it's almost over produced. So like getting it real raw, but like authentically.
Chris is actually against autotune, so there's no like autotune at all on the track or anything like that.
I saw a Kanye West reel the other day, and I guess he was playing somewhere and they were like doing lights that he didn't like. So he's like in his microphone, and this made me just randomly think of this rabbit hole. But it's just funny because it was like he's like yelling at somebody like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but this is not a disco. Turn those lights off. But it was all in auto tune, so it was like, I don't know I can't do auto tune, but I was like, oh man, this is like, how do you take somebody like that seriously? But
right.
That's funny. Little side note there. Anyways, back to you guys. So I feel like the Phoenix and the Southwest scene has its own vibe. How do you guys feel like Les Palms fits into that, or are you guys trying to disrupt that scene?
We're definitely trying to disrupt the scene. I think that a lot of bands, I think that, I mean, I'll say it, like 90% of the bands in the Phoenix scene all sound like the same band. They all go to the same producers. They're all writing the same songs. And I do want to stand apart from that. I think that we're bringing in a different vibe with, especially more the alternative side of things. You'll hear like once some more songs come out, like we're definitely falling more into alternative scene and less of the rock, like metal scene. And I think that's like kind of what exists right now in like Phoenix, Vegas, and Southern California.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have a Chris, right? That's what I'm hearing too. Part of that, you guys are having
They
your
what?
own. They don't have a Chris, right? So it's like not only is it you guys,
Yeah, exactly.
you have somebody else that's like, all right, take 52, let's go.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's a combination. Like, I mean, we're melting like, I mean, 10 years of like bands that I've been in, and then like influences that these guys have.
Yeah.
And then and the team is awesome. Like we're from photographers to like graphic designers to the engineers behind it. Like we're using everybody that is the top in our lists, you know.
That's awesome. And I think that's key too, especially like, in this day and age, rolling out as a new band. Obviously, you guys aren't new to being in the music scene, but it is a new band. So it's making sure that launch is done correctly and of that high quality. Because if not, then it's going to be like just another noise in Spotify or wherever the people stumble across it. So yeah, that's awesome to hear that you guys are rolling out. So my next question for you guys is, debut singles are everything. Did you feel pressure when choosing Second Chance as the first impression, or was it a no-brainer?
I think it was just a no-brainer because it was like, it was the thing that made the band a reality was Second Chance.
Yeah.
Like they sent me that song back so quick, and it was just like, I don't know. It was just like meant to be, you know?
I was going to say, it's meant to be. That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think,
So,
Seth? Do you think it's like a no-brainer too, or just like?
We have like a few demos that we worked on. I think actually Saw we sent back to you first before Second Chance. That's like a different song. After I heard like the rough mix back from Chris, like I definitely had a different opinion about the song. Like I don't think I had the initial impression that Sean had. Like it felt like a cool song. But once I heard like a rough mix back from Chris, I was like, holy shit, like this sounds really good. So after that, it felt like, yeah, we need to get this out there and like, put a lot behind it. So that's what I would say about it. Yeah.
So you guys are you launched in January, fast forward 4 months from writing the song, launching the band. What's been the most unexpected part of that whirlwind? Because you guys have done a lot of things in the last just 4 months of its stages.
The unexpected things like with the band that we've done.
Yeah, in the last 4 months, what's something you're like, damn, that was unexpected?
I mean, I don't know. I guess like it was unexpected how many people were like down to like work with the project, it being a new project. And I think it's just like from years of like showing people respect and like treating people with respect. And now we kind of go for full circle with it.
I love it. So question for both of you guys. What does Second Chance mean to you personally at this stage of your life and your career?
What does it mean?
What does it mean to you personally? Here I am going to put my Diane Sawyer hat on, getting the tough question.
I guess to me, just as a song itself, like not really thinking about the lyrics too much. Well, I guess thinking about the lyrics, I guess it helps me be more vulnerable, talking about stuff, because it's a little bit of ballsy stuff, like the stuff that I'm, singing on the track, like being that kind of naked on the track, like saying some stuff like that, and like I was saying earlier, like who the song could be about, what kind of situations, kind of making my my personal life, more public, however the song is received or how big it gets, whatever. So I would say that, like getting more comfortable being vulnerable, and I'm just hoping that people hear this song and are able to relate, because I don't think there's that many songs that talk about alcohol or addiction, in depth. So yeah, I don't know.
So it's almost like it's like an authentic stage of your life too. So like you're being
For
like
sure,
raw,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
it'll
and,
be
and you were talking about like vodka and stuff earlier in like Vegas, and like I'm like 7 months sober, so it's
oh man,
like
that's awesome! Congratulations.
yeah, I know you were like kind of triggering me earlier, so I'm
Yeah.
like
Well, hey,
I want
look, I
some
got Coke
vodka.
Zero here, so I
Hey,
was
okay,
not a good game, but here I am, not
hey.
doing it. Awesome. Well, Sean, what do you think about like a second chance? What does that mean to you personally and professionally, this stage of your life in your
I
career?
think it's like, yeah. I mean, personally, for me, a lot of stuff in my career like got put on hold with COVID and all that kind of stuff, and this is kind of like the next like attack at it. So it's kind of like a second chance to me to like kind of make this more of my career, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you guys have the single dropped in April. What should fans expect next? This is talk, so let's drop some teasers for the listeners. Are we talking more singles, an EP, full project, tours? What can we expect in 2026 and on the horizon for
Yeah, the
you?
goal, I guess, right now is just like we want to get enough songs out, like done, so that we can like keep the momentum up. Like the song's gonna come out. We just did two more songs yesterday. While this is being recorded, so probably I don't know when this comes out. Like what, in 2 weeks or something, a month.
Yeah, about a couple of weeks is whenever people will be listening to it. So there's a little bit of a delay, but nothing crazy. So it's still
So
be relevant timing.
yeah, around this time, then there's probably going to be another single dropping in a couple weeks. "Empty Handed" is the title track of our next single. We're super stoked on that one. That was another one where it was like, okay, here's the idea, send it to Seth in Vegas. They were like, okay, like, how does this sound? And they sent it back, within a day. Another track that's just like was 95% of the way there, and then we just take it to Chris, and Chris puts his magic on it. So I guess for the teaser, that song's coming out, but definitely like I'd like to release an EP this year and more of a full like compilation. I really want to do like vinyl and stuff like that, and I would really want to play like shows, do a couple of release shows in the Southwest. But yeah, I mean that's the goal. We do want to take this on the road, and we do want it to make sense for us. It's a lot harder to tour than it has been in the past, so we're just trying to get all our ducks in the row before we run around the country with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys definitely have the sound that would play beautiful on a vinyl. So I'll definitely be looking out for that. So for everyone listening in, where's the best spot for them to follow you guys? Obviously, I'm going to hyperlink it into the show notes. So if you guys are wanting direct links, click on the show notes there. But where's the best place for everyone to follow your guys' journey, follow out for the things we just teased on so that they will be in the know when you guys are releasing new music and announcements?
Definitely follow us on Instagram, Palms Phoenix or Palms PHX. But yeah, our website, laypalms.com, has links to everything. You can support us directly, you can buy our music directly. Streaming services are awesome, but streaming services are also very greedy, and they like to keep a lot of what we work so hard producing for people. So if anybody loves what we do and wants to support us directly, like we have links for it all in there. And of course, there's some merchandise available and stuff like that too. So definitely check some of that out.
Definitely buy all the things, you guys. Support the band. And Sean and Seth, this has been a solid conversation. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know you guys are busy recording and doing all the cool stuff there in Vegas. I love what you guys are building with Les Palms, and it's just something really real about it. And I think people are going to really connect with that in a huge way, especially in today's society where everyone's struggling and it's so hard to feel like you can be yourself. So just super cool that you guys are doing that. And everyone listening in, make sure you guys go not just stream like we just mentioned, but go support the band, buy the music. Let's see here, Second Chance is out in April, so you guys can go in there now and get that download that song. Keep your eyes on Les Palms because it's just the beginning. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and of course tag your crew. Again, guys, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Hollie.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Teaser Talk. Head over to teasertalk.com to subscribe so you don't miss out on another episode. Until next week, keep rocking.